Hello, everyone. Okay, great to see you all. Good evening on a great Friday. Okay, I can see a bunch of people joined here. I hope you all are having good Friday in the sense of completing your office task and feeling great. Okay, week is over. Weekend, whatever it's weekend or weekday, same shorts, same t-shirt, same balcony. Is it so? Okay, until we are safe and good, that's fantastic. And yeah, situation is not really good in country India, but things will get better. Stay confident, that's pretty important. And in Bangalore, it is raining well from this afternoon. So weather is pretty good. And this is on a Friday, we're enjoying the weather. People from different part of the world, thanks for joining here. Early morning hours, late night, post lunch. Thanks everybody. So this is a ShriLearning, myself Sriram Kumar, and we are talking about project management in different angles. So first I welcome all people here who are from different batches who come here for refreshing the concepts. So what we do is on every Friday, we are trying to connect with some subject which is relevant with the management altogether. It is not particularly on certification because a certification is not the only intention, at least from my side. The day one, when I started my journey towards coaching people, I took it very clear that we want good leaders in the market. Part of that leadership is called certification, right? So no shortcuts and no way of cutting corners and winning certificate. It's all about learning well. So I appreciate all the people joined with us in this journey. Thanks for your trust on us and thanks for being here. And thanks to all the people who are watching from YouTube and thanks for the people who joined over Zoom here. So let's get into the subject. First thing first, I know some of you completed the PMP certificate here. In the last 1 week, we have nearly a bunch of people completed, but they're yet to receive the certificate. So a lot of success stories are waiting. Why? Look like PMI is taking a little extra time to release a certificate. We're not sure what is happening. They're consuming more than few days. Usually they share the certificate within 3 hours sometimes. A PDF get uploaded, or sometimes they take 3 working days to load your certificate. But this time, some people more than 5 days or 6 days, certificate not loaded. You know how frustrating it will be? After paying $500, after putting a lot of effort, after getting the certified, telling that you're PMP certified, but certificate is not there. God, man, that's really tough. You won't sleep. Okay, that's how it is. So more success stories on your way. We are getting it. Okay, with this. Let me quickly check some of you. How is it your PMP preparation going on? PMP, ACP, Agile. Let me see a couple of dialogues, then I go for our Agile courses. In fact, today we're going to talk about Agile team. Before I go there, let me see a couple of them. Anybody want to talk about that? What's happening at your side? Good throttling, good speed, good learning?
Sridham. Yeah. Thanks for your motivation and all those things. I started, reading the books. At the same time, I had to concentrate. Recently switched my job, so I had to balance both the things.
Oh,
yeah. So I kickstarted. It's going well.
good.
So
Good to know, Venkat. You know, when you're a new job, you are highly expected.
yes.
Right. You know, when you go to a new job, they'll tell that's a honeymoon period, be free, but everybody will keep looking at you. What this guy is doing?
That is what happening.
I observed this. Hey, you just join, man. Relax. Don't strain. Just be part of the call. But they'll watch what this guy is doing. So it's best to give you a good performance. I keep telling the classes use that 4-letter word. What is that 4-letter word? You remember it?
Love.
Love what you do, so you don't need to worry who is watching us. They'll be scared this guy will eat my company. So use this 4-letter word in what you do, whatever call, whatever meeting, be 100%. That's pretty important. Good wishes,
Yeah.
Venkat, for your success.
Yeah, and one more thing, I reduced watching TV and trying to wake up early in the morning and started
Okay.
exercising.
God, man.
So as and when I am deviating, I'm
Okay.
recollecting your words.
Okay,
So
that's good.
first thing
Hope
I'm
your
doing it.
family is not doubting you. Hope your family is not doubting you.
No, because they would be sleeping till a little late, and they would be getting up a little late. So yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. It's a good habit. I have much of people who started telling that I'm reading good books. The first thing, you've been increasing the brain muscle and then your body muscle, right? And then again, your account muscle. When you do the brain muscle, body muscle, account muscle automatically goes high. So that's good to know, Venkat. That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me see. Anybody else close to the exam? 10 more days. I'm preparing. Things going good. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Great. Let's get inside. 36 days, Ankush. Good, Ankush. I know you're preparing well there. So what I do is I will get into this subject right away. See, I was reading some book this morning about the mindset. They were talking about the only way to win in life in a long stretch is building the self-confidence. So, this is good to hear about self-confidence. We read in motivational words, all good. But how to get this? The only word they use in that book is to get the self-confidence. Don't neglect daily small disciplines. I would have said this earlier, but again, I feel repeating myself. When I tell to people in the classes, I feel that I'm getting repeated to myself that when you want to build up your self-confidence in your education, in your career, in your family love and affection, don't neglect daily small disciplines. If you feel that 5:30 in the evening, between 5:30 5:45, there is a 15 minutes gap for your office call to start. Maybe you can take up from your seat, don't sit in the computer, close the computer 10 minutes, go and sit and talk with your children, with your family, at least give a smile. A daily small disciplines. Have a cup of coffee and tea with them. Say hi, 10 minutes, fine. Of course, from one bedroom to reach another bedroom, it's pretty long these days, right? With the work from home, you're expected to work all the time in front of the computer. So close it and go. This today I tried it. Today it was raining heavily, and some snacks my family brought out. So what I did is I was continuously preparing for some content. Then I thought, let's shut on. Shut on 10 minutes. I was there with the family, 10, 15 minutes. I felt more refreshed. Brain fits more new energy. So what I read today is very interesting that don't neglect daily small discipline. That's basically going to help us. Right. With this, let's get inside. Great. Let me share the screen. Let me start the content for today. Here we go. Here we go. Can somebody quickly confirm that you are able to hear me well? You are seeing the screen and you're able to see me.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for confirming. So what we're going to do is today we're going to learn a very lightweight subject called Agile teams. I have a lot of people from non-Agile background. You may be surprised, oh my God, it's going to be heavy. Not at all. Whenever you heard the word Agile, take it as a lightweight topic. You can enjoy this topic. So let's talk about Agile team today. Who all can listen to this? You can prepare for examination, or you cleared the examination, or you don't even think about the exam. You are part of a corporate life. You can listen to this video, right? So what's the benefit of this? If you're preparing for examination like PMP or the ACP, ACP is Agile Certified Practitioner, which is 100% Agile, goes pretty deep inside, whereas PMP touches a 50% adaptive nature. There you will see Agile concepts, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about team structure. Before I go to team structure, I want to set some basic for our mindset, how an Agile team will look like, right? From there, I'll go inside. So what I do is I'll bring up some content. First thing, I want to talk something about Peter Drucker. We have discussed this person in our classes. I want to bring it again. Peter Drucker is considered as a management guru. What do you mean by management guru, Shriram? So what happened is in the year 1959, okay, he published a book, and this book is about Landmark of Tomorrow. That's a book in 1959. In 1955, either I was not born and you were not there. And this person predicted something. What is it? who primarily, he called in that book, a terminology called knowledge workers. So knowledge-based workers. Who is this knowledge-based workers? What he was coining is one who primarily with information or one who develops and uses knowledge in the workplace. In the year 1960 or 1959, this was a new terminology telling that a person who uses knowledge only to do some sort of work is called knowledge workers. Oh, Shriram, come on, man. This is a day in, day out these days. Yeah, now it is, maybe after 40, 50 years. Think about the years in 1959 or 60 when the book came up. Now, what he is telling by the time is, he's telling that knowledge workers would have the most valuable asset of 21st century. Who are they? Don't think only the software engineers are knowledge workers. That's a wrong assumption. It could be the programmers, designers, analysts, technical writers. Well, good. Then what? Then you have pharmaceutical people, you have public accountants, engineers, architects, lawyers, physicians, scientists. It goes on. Anybody who don't do more of a physical work, more of a brain related work, I'll call knowledge workers. So Sriram, why this topic coming up here? If you question me, if you go back 100 years, I don't know how many of you read the Human Civilization or Human Growth. I would recommend you to read it if you want to be good in leadership role, because you should know the origin of human lifestyle and how we evolved over years. If you read that, you may handle people, you may handle animal or any cattle around you better, because a life, ecosystems around us, you have to understand that it's not always money. It's not always getting certified and get extra 10%. No, beyond that, you have to think. If you want to think that, you have to read some good books. One of that talks about call as blue collar and white collar. Now, okay, it's a hard dialogue those days. People don't like this terminology, but again, I have to recall it. It's called blue collar. So blue collar is something where people do more of a physical work. They are the laborers. They are being instructed to do something on an order basis. You have to order them. Do this, they'll complete it. Maybe metal, steel, or it could be something on wood cutting or stones or cement work, heavy lifting work. Mostly men was used in this situation. Okay, Shriram, why gender is coming here? Because it was needed those days. Those days, this kind of problem was not there heavily, because there is no gender bias there. It is all about who has a physical power can work. That's it. In 1930s and 40s, things started changing. In 1960s, a lot of change happened where many machinery things come to the world, where you have automation, we have something called robotic process. Slowly things started coming in, and digital computing started in 1973, 75, and picked up 1980, 1990, 2000, things started changing. Now, what happened is this blue collar job was handled by white collar. What is this white collar? This white collar is called managerial role. Somebody will be so big, heavy guy who can have a big voice. Hey, do the job. I want you to complete it today. This kind of finger pointing, big volume, big guy, big shoulder. These are very common in white collar job those days. This is how it was human civilization, and things started changing. And in our generation, we are in the transition period. Somebody can connect with me telling that, Shriram, what do you say? I'm seeing that in my current office, and you're calling that as a knowledge workers. If you feel that, still we are in the transition. We are not done with fully. It will take another 30, 40 years, because those generation has to get old, die, fresh generation has to come. So what's the point here? The point here is in 1959-60, the term called knowledge workers came in by Peter Drucker, one of the management guru. And the point he pointed out is people who can work with the knowledge are capable of doing the work on their own. You no need to push them. They will complete on their own. Only thing you need to guide them. Only thing you have to show them the vision. Only thing you have to give them the goal. Only thing you have to coach them. Coaching. You're not pushing, you're coaching. This terminology started coming out. Now, what's the point here? Why I put all this dialogue here is in Agile, they picked up this terminology called as knowledge workers, and there comes the team which we are going to work. So Shriram, I'm working in an industry where I have to have a hierarchy format where I have to instruct the people and they will do the work. If you're in that format, no issues. You follow that. Nobody's going to stop you. But if you are working in a knowledge-based industry where people can think better and work, then you have to rethink the way the leadership is handled, right? Let me go a little more. You may start liking some topics here today. Who is this knowledge workers? The knowledge workers are you, me, or somebody in this industry, or anybody who was watching this video. Everybody's a knowledge workers. What they do, they have a good thinking ability. Fantastic, right? They can be a good team worker, team member, efficient communication skill, and they have a strategic skills. They can think long run. They will not be narrow-minded. If you see those days, yes, boss, I will do what you did. You said I did it. What else I have to do? I don't know. You have to tell me, I'll do. Next day morning, 9:30 again or 9 o'clock, do this, they will do it. That's not the case here. It's called strategic skills. They'll talk strategically what can be done. Management skills. They have amazing ethics with them. Wow. So no cut the corners, they do straight on the line. Now, knowledge workers are pretty common in the market now. If you start seeing people as knowledge workers, your way of thinking and handling people will change. Now, why all this topic? In PMP examination, you're going to get a lot of questions on the people domain. Nearly 42% of the exam questions on people. So 42% is a big number. Until you don't change your mind from the hierarchical format to knowledge worker format, many questions, chances are we will slip down. Shriram, is it easy? Not at all easy, because we are in that transition period. Okay, let me take you furthermore. Okay, what does this knowledge worker do in Agile team? Let's straight away get to the Agile team now. Okay, I'm going to talk about team proportion. Before talking team proportion, I want to talk what this team is expected to do in Agile or kind of a Scrum team. So Sriram, Agile and Scrum are capable only for software? I would say no. Any company, any project can pick up where there is an expectation of adaptive nature of work. I don't want to get into the adaptive and why this nature of project management. I will not get there because that's a different session altogether. We have done some sessions, or we will do more sessions following that. Maybe you can leave your comments if you feel, Shyam, can you talk these specific topics? We'll take it up. But for now, we should understand the team proportion, why we do this. Now, what happens is there is something called vertical slice, horizontal slice. The cake looks good, right? You feel that, oh man, it's a good dinner time, Shriram, let's have one slice. Okay, coming back, vertical slice and the horizontal slice. Now, horizontal slice is something what we did so many years back. When I say horizontal, we will take this portion, complete it, hand over to the next team. Next team will take this portion and complete it, hand over to next team, will take this portion, complete it, and all together we'll test it. So we do horizontally and start completing things and hand over the next team. In lean management, it is called as handoff time and waiting time. It's extra process time. It's going to consume a lot of your time and your work get delayed. From a Japanese model of Toyota, they found that this model is pretty killing. Okay. Now I'll park lean management a little away. We'll talk about Agile only. In Agile, what happened is they found that instead of going the horizontal way, let's go with a vertical way. So Sriram, what do you mean by vertical? So what they expect is a team of 10 people. They're capable of doing all this layer at one shot. What do you mean by all the layer? They can have a proper user interface screen. They can have some logical work happening here. They can have your database work here. Shriram, I'm not an IT guy, man. Can you explain me? Okay. Let's say google.com. You go into there, shriram@gmail.com, password. I click the button. It says you login. Let's take that screen. So that screen is UI. UI is user interface. You have a user ID and password. That's a screen. That will be done by one person. And you have a middle layer, which checks shriram@gmail.com. Password is password one at some number. And again, that logic will be done by a particular team member. And you have a data layer. It goes to the database. I think by now you all know what is database, where you have stored all the information. It goes and check and come back and tell, okay, this is Shriram. Let's allow him inside. Now, these all can be done at one packet, and this one packet is called vertical slice. And this will be done in 2 weeks of time, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. But whatever you do, it's a complete pack. I don't want only the UI user interface is done. I don't want only the middle layer done. I don't want only the database done. When I started my career years back, this is how we have to do. We will do mostly horizontal slices. Each team will do complete another team handover. But in information technology or some other industry, where the technology is highly developed, people mindset is developed, what happens is they can do in a slice, vertical slice. Now, Shriram, this is pretty high, man. I think you are putting too much of information for me. If you say that, hold on. I just gave a clue that why we do this, why we need a knowledge workers. Again, I map back to that here. I'm going to show you something. Why? Okay. Okay, let's go here. Well, let's talk a little about the team because this topic is about agile team. In agile team, the diversity is pretty important. Diversity and inclusion is important. Quickly, when I say diversity, don't think it talks about men and women. It is beyond that. It's beyond that. Okay. So what we're going to talk here, we're going to talk something about a diversity and inclusion where empowering the team to participate in decision making. This is pretty important. In agile or a scrum or adaptive nature of projects, the empowerment is pretty high. Team is given more option to make decisions. I'll be very careful here. In the name of decision, don't take it for granted. Everything will be done by team. Be very careful. I will give some terminology here. There is something called centralized, decentralized, two terminologies. Of course, I picked this from Scaled Agile subject. Of course, we take Scaled Agile classes also. In the Scaled Agile, there is a concept, or it's there in the market all the time. It's called centralized, decentralized. There are certain decisions which can change the economic nature of the system. Then that will be centralized. Centralized means could be manager, senior manager, program manager. They make a decision, centralized. There are some decisions which can change the angle and timeline on a long run based decisions. This will be centralized, right? So then, Shriram, which will be decentralized? A decision which need to be made immediately. I cannot wait for a senior manager or project manager to come and approve it. The team has to do immediately because the team possesses the data with them. See, the team knows what to do with this user story right now. They have all the rights to make a decision. They don't need to wait for anybody. So there's a centralized, a decentralized. If you put a proper line in your corporate, many work will happen smooth. You no need for every call or every decision a manager to come and take. And this is going to be empowerment. This is going to be knowledge workers. You are not working with a worker where we have to tell every time, hey, do this, do that. This is knowledge worker. They are capable of doing anything what they can. Only thing, you have to show the vision. You have to show the path. Okay, Shriram, these are good, man. When you are telling this, all looks good. But in real life, I'm doing this every day. I have to tell my team what to do, what to do, what to do. Yes, it is. As I said, we are in a transition period, but you have to try and attempt. This is a reason we have something called a retrospective to look back in the team every 10 days, how we progress in the last 10 days. Have we done a good job? Are there any improvement needed? This all should happen very religiously should happen. If you do retrospective as something like another meeting, doesn't give any value. Anyway, I'll talk retrospective another day. For now, you have to have a good cultural background, industry experience, spoken language, kind of this inclusion is important. Again, I'm talking about agile teams. Let me move a little more. Let me move a little more for your exam purpose. Okay, let's go this team proportion now. If anybody here in PMP examination, you will have both the team proportion. Oh man, if you are from ACP examination, you will have only the right side. That is agile team. If you are from Scrum certification, only right side. If you are from Scaled Agile, only the right side. Right? This will be there. If you are coming from PMP, you will talk both. Oh, why Shriram? Because in PMP, we have predictive nature of project management and adaptive nature of project management. So PMP is a balance between both. So you have to take both. Right. Let's listen this process. So what do you have to listen here? Okay. Okay. What do you have to listen here? So what I'm putting here is, first thing, project manager based. That is a hierarchy based. Don't think this is a command and control. I can see some of the agile books portraying like as if the traditional model is totally bad, look like a Hitler model. That's how they're portraying. Actually not needed. Still, many industry need this model of work. How many places employees to be so much active on their own? They tell that man, tell me what you want to do. I'll do and go home. That's it. My role over. So sometimes agile market, they too much talk about the traditional model is bad. I will tell no. That too has a good value. In some places, only the architect designer, only the engineer, only the SME, subject matter expert, only the project manager possess the knowledge. And the employees or resources working under them, they're very happy to listen their leader and execute as per the plan. In a military team, a military commander tells what to do. The whole battalion, they call battalion a team of people, they follow because they're fine. They believe the manager knows the angle, knows the diameter, and tells this, fire it, they'll fire it, right? That's how it is. But nothing wrong in it. But if you are working in a knowledge-based project where the team is capable of thinking on their own, look at here, it is in the round form. It is not in the hierarchy form. It means they can work as a team. Here, this team is a self-organizing team. Shriram, what is self-organizing, man? So you mean they one day come together and say that, let's do a project? If you ask me, no. Definitely there is a role called project manager. A project manager will be here. And this person is the one who framed this team, who would have framed this team of 6 people or 10 people, tell about them the project, what need to be done. A contract or legal agreement will be signed with the customer, give them the environment of servers or application, or give a path for them what to do. Then the team starts working on their own. So team formation is always with the manager most of the time. Some companies, they call as a delivery manager, service manager, project manager, product manager. They have a different name, right? So now here, if you watch, this team is a group of people who can work on their own. So Shriram, what do you mean? These people don't work on their own? It's not the meaning like that. So for them, we have to tell what you have to do on this timeline. We have to tell them the timeline to complete. Here, we will not force them the timeline. We will tell, hey, there is 10 items to do. It's team's wish when you want to complete. Team decides when they want to do these items, but they may even complete in 5 days or 4 days because knowledge-based work. This is not a steel lifting, wood lifting, cement pack lifting. No, knowledge work. A knowledge work can be done in 4 hours by one person. The same work can be done by 4 days by another person. Yeah, another person can done it in 4 hours or 4 minutes or 40 minutes. I'm just using all 4. The point here is knowledge work is something differ by people's ability. So we don't force people. We keep the freedom to the people. This is called empowerment. Let me go a little more forward. I believe you all read this content in the books. Shriram, where to read these books, man? Read Agile Practice Guide, one of the best book, right? Okay, I'll bring up some topic. Okay, I believe most of you would have seen this picture. Do anybody know this picture belongs to what? Is it from any movie? Is it from the movie Titanic? Anybody know the movie name? Okay. Jumanji. Oh, okay, I thought it was Titanic. You know Titanic? Okay. Okay, Jumanji, great. Okay, it's a movie, Jumanji. I don't know how big this guy looks like, right? With him, the mountain is hidden. We can't see the mountain behind him. Okay, now coming back with this message. When you look at this Jumanji movie, this movie is a very crazy, funny movie for children, not for adults, for children. Okay, so in this movie, one interesting factor is each one has some capability. One person will be fearless. One person can use very perfect calculations. One person use more stunt and karate format. One person can even go more archaeological way of understanding things. Now, what's the message here is, it's not about the physical strength. It's not about the brain strength. It is a combination of things wins a result. So if you work out on an agile team, it's not believed on one person. It's a combination of people. You will have 5, 6 people or 10 people who possess different knowledge with them. Only when they combine together, the sprint goal or iteration goal or goal of the project can be achieved. See, I'll tell you, this mindset was different 15 or 20 years back. In a team, we will have one person highly intellectual, and this person will hold the team and pull heavily. I don't know how many of you seen that. I have seen it in my corporate life. Even today, sometimes I see that. You will have one star player like Cristiano Ronaldo. You would expect Cristiano Ronaldo will take Portugal to the World Cup finals. Never happens. We have a team who has a different strength, who can work together. Oh man, this philosophy looks good, but actually it works. That's where the thing changes in 2001 when Agile Manifesto was written. In Agile Manifesto, the first manifesto says that individuals and interactions over process and tools. They give the first focus to people. I'll repeat again. The first manifesto says individuals and interactions over process and tools. Yes, process and tools are important. We're not saying no, but at the same time, give focus to people. Why? Because each human being possesses different variety of skills with them. How do you bring that together? That's a skill. But doing together is not manager role. They have to do on their own, self-empowered. If you don't do that, if you force them, it won't work. Okay, Shriram, will this have an impact in exams? Definitely. In exam, if you see agile questions, they're making you to think that here the manager does not enforce anything on the team. The manager become a coach here, and the team does the job on their own. So be very careful when you read the PMP exam questions. If they're asking about agile, be watchful. Don't use the word anything in the answer enforcing on the team, but you allow the team to make decisions. Whereas in the same PMP, if there is a question talking about predictive nature, manager takes the call. Oh man, yes, that's why PMPs are slightly tougher. If you're an agile ACP exam, okay, all are going to be straight on, only team does the job, right? So be watchful in exam question papers. Okay, let's go a little more. So what are the roles in agile team or a scrum team? Certain roles are discussed here. I'll tell you, these are the roles altogether done by project managers 20 years back. Now the role, whatever a project manager did, has been divided. How they divided? They have a role called product owner. I'll talk more about it. This role is a very beautiful role. It holds the portion of manager job. What it mean? This person is going to be the customer representative who can talk business primarily, who can talk business, who can take the responsibility of what to be delivered, who can talk business, who can take responsibility of what to be delivered. So most of the time here, you will have a product owner who is a representative of the customer, who comes from the company of the customer and sit in your premises and work for your company. Let me talk more. I have another slide to talk about it. Scrum Master, and this person is called as a coach, who is going to coach your team to move forward smoothly. This is also a manager role some years back. And then comes a team. The team does the work. I was talking about the team, right? Jumanji team. They do the work. Each one has a different capability. They join together and complete the work. So these three roles are nothing but the combination of project manager role years back. Now that's being split up, right? So what is a stakeholder, Shriyam? So stakeholder could be anybody. Could be a sponsor, could be the business people, could be your company senior managers, program managers who want to know about the project flow, right? So generally, these are the roles you can see in examination and also your any management books about Agile. Let me go a little more, but I want to explain you what is product owner. So first I'll talk about the product owner. So who is this product owner? So there's a product owner is a pretty interesting role. Here you can see the product owner. This product owner is a person who connects multiple things. this person will connect with the team who actually implement the work. And this person connect with some of the stakeholders in their company on some of the end user expectation. Let's take example of a banking system. The usual banking system I quote is Citibank because the international bank, Citibank. Now, let's say there is a Citibank here, and if a Citibank want to implement some online application, which is going to be useful for millions of customers, now Citibank will have a representative from their company who will be called as a product owner, who can be in your company. Let's say ShriLearning is a company. So Citibank will send a representative from their company who will come all the way driving the car and come to my office, sit in ShriLearning office and work with us. It's one model. Okay. Sometimes they feel it's expensive. What they do, instead of a guy driving all the way coming to my office, they will employ a resource in ShriLearning office and call them as a proxy product owner. You know what is proxy? And this proxy owner will take responsibility of certain level of product owner to talk about what to be delivered, when to be delivered, and some factors. Now, who can go for a product owner role, Shreya? A project manager can become a product owner. A product manager can become there. A business analyst can become. There is no restriction until you possess the business knowledge, until you know how the economics work. Sure, what is this economics? The value. When you're given a time, within this timeline, if you can bring value to the market, utilizing the team, then you are part of product owner. You can be there. But usually we will see domain experts become the product owner, a business analyst or domain knowledge. Shriram, what do you mean by domain? If I'm in a banking, I may be an expert in banking system. If I'm into travel and travel industry, what I'm good there, then I'll go for it, right? If I'm in the pharma industry, I know nook and corners of pharma stuff, then I will go for become a product owner, right? Possible. So what are the things a product owner can do? You know the economics of delivery, participate in planning, grooming. I think this is the one thing I keep pressing many times. Grooming is all about what next work to be done, how elaborate we are. So these things we'll talk there. By the way, I don't want to go too deep inside because I refresh a class. So now point is a product owner is a person who holds two hands here, one hand of the team, one hand at the business in his company like Citibank. So be a middleman between both. Also the responsibility is pretty high. Interesting role. Okay, interesting role. Sometimes I feel it's a highly paid role because they are the one who take charge of the business totally, possibly, right? Okay, servant leader. Okay, Scrum Master. Now, what is this Scrum Master all about? Okay, what we saw before is a business guy who takes care of business stuff. Now, business is taken care, prioritization is taken care. Then what's the role of a manager here? If you ask me, again, a manager here is considered as a servant leader in Agile terminology. So, Shriram, what is a servant leader? It's a very interesting term. Okay, many people don't like this word servant. They don't want to be called as a servant. It's a personal choice. But the book says that the moment a team is getting formed, a person thinks that instead of asking the team what you are going to do to me, rather we ask them what I can do for you today. That's a difference between servant leader. So, Shriram, it looks good, very impressive. The dialogues are good, but how much it's possible? If you ask me, yeah, we are in the transition time. It will take time to settle down, but definitely we are moving towards servant leadership in many industries. Be watchful, not all the industry, many industries. Okay, when I say servant leader, what this person is going to do? The first thing is this person can coach the team. A person can be a servant leader, process authority. You take charge of what to be followed or how to work. This all process related to take care of it. Interference is shield. Okay, you protect the team from unwanted distractions. You know, this area is a very important area. I like it because many teams, given a work, the senior management don't allow them to work, or another project manager don't allow to work. They will call middle of the work. Hey, there is something urgent. Can you fix it? I have something to do there. Can you please do that? Can you give me the 2 resource for 1 week? I will complete and give it back. So these are the common interference keep happening in the corporate. Whereas a Scrum Master, they protect them, telling them, no, guys, they have a goal. They're moving towards it. Let them complete. Then we think of what we can do. And impediment remover, blockers. What do you mean by impediment, Sriram? I'll give an example. Let's say the team is working, within them they solve all the problems. For example, they want to access the Amazon production cloud servers. Okay, I'm talking about technology based, which is not in the control of the team. So team cannot get that access on their own. They need somebody help to get the access, because a production access could be with the senior folks in the company, because it's a very important server. So now what happens? As a Scrum Master, as a servant leader, this person has to reach to the other team members or senior folks in the organization to understand, hey, can you help this team to get this access? The team is blocked because of this. So you will step in to help the team to clarify and remove those blockers. So the next question immediately comes from some people here is, so Sriram, what do you mean by this? Do you say that a Scrum Master should have a technical knowledge? A Scrum Master should have a business knowledge? Okay, there is a book which talks about it. What they say here is, a servant leader, or you call them as a Scrum Master, right? Or a project manager, Agile project manager. There is no mandatory that you should have technical knowledge. But if you possess a technical knowledge, you will be relevant with the team. You no need to enforce your thought on the team on the technical side, but you can connect with your team when they say, hey, Sriram, you know what? We got stuck with this problem. You cannot ask them like an alien question. What is that, man? I don't hear this. I don't know what you are talking here. Rather, you can cooperate with them. Okay, I understand. I got the problem. Let me talk to some other stakeholders around who can give some information. So point is, you're trying to get more help for the people having your technical knowledge. So if you have little technical knowledge, good and well and good for you. What about the business? A Scrum Master is not expected to have business knowledge. But if you are working on a banking domain project, if you can little bit connect, if you can ask some relevant questions, which can make them to think. See, many times, at least I have did in early career, what I do is, some questions I will cross ask my team, and the team says, oh yeah, I didn't think in this angle. Many times the team think only the technical angle. They don't think in other way. Sometimes you can think like a customer and ask a question, why don't we do like this in this banking system? And then the product owner says, wow, that's a good thought. The team says maybe, or something is wrong. That's a pathetic one. It's a bad thought. So point is how much you are able to think in different angles. That also makes sense. So as a Scrum Master, you are not expected to have business knowledge, not expected to have technical knowledge, but if you possess, well and good. The main point I usually have this picture to share with the people around is to show that, hey, you know what, a Scrum Master is a role like this here, who is a servant leader, who is a coach, who shows a vision to the team. Very important, vision communication. Keep communicating the vision and the goal to the team consistently, and clear the impediments and blockers on their way, right? And protect the team from interference from any other team or unwanted things, so they're getting protected, right? That's important. And provide them something help which will make the team to move forward. Sriram, this look like Anna Teresa kind of service. That's what we do here. Actually, that is what expected from you when you're a servant leader. That doesn't mean that you will always say, yes, sir, we'll do the work. It's not that form, but you will try to help the team because you're working with the knowledge workers who are capable of thinking on their feet and do the work. Sure, is it happening in companies? Yes, it is happening. Believe it, it's working really well. But it takes time. It takes time, right? You have to work it out. Okay, that's a little on the servant leader. So we spoke about product owner who is responsible for the business, Scrum Master or servant leader who is responsible for coaching, guiding the team forward. Now let's quickly see something about the team. Okay, what is this team all about? So team talks about, okay. So here the team talks about the mix of people. So what is this mix of people? I showed a cake for you who will make a vertical slice. So how do you make a vertical slice? The team has a combination of a designer, a person who can think architecture, a person who can test it, a person who can do the work, a person who can talk about database. Sometimes you have a business people also inside that. So now what happened is this is called the dev team or development team. Now what is the key thing in this team is they are fully capable of like a Jumanji team. You saw Jumanji team, right? So what they're capable is they can acquire the knowledge of the requirement, right? You don't want a separate timeline to sit and talk about it. They can acquire the knowledge of requirement. They can elaborate the discussion about what they want to do. They're capable of doing the work. They're capable of testing it. They're capable of delivering it. When I started my career in early days, delivery is not done by the main team. Main team will do the work, keep quiet, give it to another team, and that team will deliver it. It's called configuration management team. They call CMT. So we have to complete the work, hand over to them. They will deliver it. Nowadays, we have some tool called DevOps, development plus operations. So it all happens automatically. So message is you are trying to find a team, bring up a team, and this team is capable of doing the work on their own, like a team like what you saw Jumanji, or like a team what you saw a cricket team, multi-skill. A person holds more than one skill. Slightly, I'll go to that area. What you see here, the blue color on the right side is a multi-skill person. So we call T-shape. So many think that T-shape means I'll be very deep in one area. Fantastic. You should be. I'm not saying no. You should be a good designer. You should know how to make a design efficiently. That's a deep knowledge. You should possess a deep knowledge. Only with this, you will get the work in your corporate. Very good. Now, what else you have to do? You should have a broad knowledge and ability in other area. If you are a designer, you should be able to test as well on a need basis. Not always. Nobody asks you to test it all the time. They tell that on the need basis, you can test it. This knowledge is important. On a need basis, a tester can do little bit programming work, but very dangerous. But chances are there. An architect also can do database engineering. Now, point is how much you possess multiple skill in the team makes a team like a Jumanji team who has a capability of helping each other and moving forward. So the broadness is multiple area. You will have ability to work outside of a core area. Look at here. Work on the outside of a core area. As I used to quote in the classes, we look at the cricket team. We want the 9th batsman in a cricket of IPL match to score 12 runs the last 2 balls. He has to do that. No other go. Because you won't tell that, hey, no man, you are a pretty core knowledge and only bowling, you will not do the batting. They will do because they have to learn those skills. If you can expect a batsman or bowler to do that, same is expected from us. You should possess multiple knowledge. But the question is, Sriram, do I need to do this all the time? Not at all. On the need basis. So question is, on the need basis, can you step up? That's what they're asking. See, I'm also working in a company where you have a lot of agile teams projects running on, but I don't see a tester go and do the development work. A developer doesn't do the UI work. I don't see that, but need comes, they do. That guts and that knowledge do you possess? That's what the market is looking for. When you recruit also, they recruit this way and they call them as a full stack developer. Fine, Shriram. These are all good, man. Whatever you give a message now, look like an agile team for software engineering. What if it's not a software engineering? That's a good question. It is hard now because the market is catching up the agile mindset in the sense of respecting the people around, doing the work efficiently, giving value to the customer, doing in a short cycle. These are happening efficiently in the market right now. In the name of forming the team, still we are yet to catch up in other industries like in software. Because in software, we have multiple verticals, multiple domains where they come together as a technology group. Whereas in non-IT industry, still we have functional groups. Each one is a functional. Quality department, different will be there. Design department, different will be there. The core engineering workers, they'll be different. That mixture has not happened really well now. It'll take some more time. For now, other industry, they're thinking only the mindset of agile rather forming as a team, what we talk here. but it is highly possible in other industry also, right? Good, 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 good. Okay, by the way, I just a brush up for you of the content. So what all I touch base for you? I'll just go back. So what we saw today, basics, before I go to questions, we have questions of Agile questions. I will touch you about the what is a Agile team structure look like. You shouldn't think that the old team structure is gone. No, not at all. Those structures still exist, still valuable. An Agile team is also there. It depends on the nature of the team, what you work with, right? We understood the roles like you have product owners, Scrum Master, and team members. And we have a little idea about product owner, who is a representative of the customer, who take a charge of certain things like giving value to the customer. And also we understood servant leader. Servant leader is an interesting role, who can help the team at the same time, don't interfere into the work. They will do their work, right? And team should have a T-shape and broad knowledge. It's what we saw there. Good. Some basic knowledge. Of course, I was able to give some basic because this is a big subject we learn in the classes. What I do is I'll bring up a question. Through questions, sometimes you learn better. Okay, there is a question going to come up here. Okay, please read this question and leave your answer. Let's see how much you think about it. Okay. Try to see the key terminology here in this question. Okay, answer starts coming up. This is a pure Agile question. Read in that mindset. Okay, I'm listening to the answers in YouTube as well. In YouTube, you can leave it in the comment section of your answers. Let me see your answers. Okay. Fine. So what's coming up here? I'm seeing answers are fluctuating between B and C. Okay, let's understand the question here. So in this question, one key terminology, if you observed, it will be like you were reviewing the product backlog with the new product owner. So the old guy went out, the new person came in. Now there's a new person is here. Now this new person is asking to reprioritize. Be very watchful. I say 3 roles are here. One of the important role in Agile management is product owner. Product owner is a representative of the customer. So in Agile, most of the decisions of a delivery are made by product owner. Okay, that's a news. Now with this mindset, if you read this question, if one product owner goes out, a new guy comes in, he or she. Now when they request to prioritize, what you have to do? Okay, let's go by usual way of looking the answers. I used to tell that when you read the question, first read the key terminology very well. That's fine. You found the key terminology. Now let's go and read the answers from the bottom up. In a bottom up, tell the product owner that the current ranking was agreed. Agreed. This agreed does not work in most of the case, right? To the previous, because a delivery model is not attached to the product owner. A delivery model is attached to the market value. If the market condition is changing, say example, COVID came in. Now all the pharma company working towards COVID related research and development. They had a lot of things. They may work for polio, they may work for AIDS, they may work for other diseases, cancer treatment. Now cancer treatment, a lot of people forgot. People are thinking only COVID. Now after COVID last 2 days, I'm hearing that black fungus, white fungus. Now everybody start working on that. Now your priority changes as per the market. Sorry to call the COVID related problem here, but again, I thought of telling that the market changes it. So you cannot agree on something. So I feel this can be on an elimination technique, Rose, right? So what next can be eliminated? Reprioritize item as demanded by the product owner. As demanded by the product owner. Look like better, but let's park it. Let's not jump here. Avoid the confrontation with the product owner and ask the team to negotiate a workable solution with the product owner. What do you mean by negotiate here? Are we going to negotiate telling that, guys, this is not a market value? The market value is different. Then you have to understand. Are you going to negotiate in that format? So I slightly doubt this answer because avoid the confrontation. Avoid. I feel little doubtful in this area. Let's see. Escalate the conflict to the agile coach or the higher management. See, this prioritization may not need to go to agile coach. Agile coach is for process improvement and helping the team, not on product reprioritization. So A is eliminated, D is eliminated. So the competition is between B and C. Now let's read the key term in the question. You are reviewing the product backlog with the new product owner when they requested to reprioritize of some of the backlog items, not all, some of them. What should you do? Now tell me, are we going to ask with the owner and tell the team to negotiate, or do you think that the prioritization is pure responsibility of product owner? What's your thought? If you feel that's a pure representation of a product owner, then you may go to the answer C. Is a C, that is product owner. Reprioritize item as demanded by the product owner. In fact, product owner has a full charge on the product backlog. He or she can do the reprioritization based on the market demand. He or she is not doing from their own wish. The market says we want this material as early as possible. So here, there is nothing to negotiate. It's all about the market demand. So the product owner brings value to the market and says that, guys, this needed first. Maybe the product owner can check with the team, can this be implemented right now? You have all the technical features. If technically we are not capable, chances are we can't deliver it. That's fine. But product owner has all the rights to reprioritize. Hey guys, this is what important right now, right? Very good. Raj is putting a point telling that, hey, you know what? The product owner have the better visibility of the business. This is a mind change in agile projects. Good shot. I think most of you get a good shot. Thanks for attempting that. Let's take one other question. Read this question. I think it's going to be a pretty easy question. You will click short. The practice of leading through the service to the team by focusing on understanding, addressing this. Why specific this question is, I want you to get the mindset of that particular subject. Understanding and addressing the needs and development of team, right? Right, good, good. In order to enable the highest possible team performance, how it happens, you allow them to move forward. So what do you want to do? You want to be a transaction leader? I don't think so. Laissez-faire? No. Servant leader? Look like bureaucratic leadership? No. I think the question is pretty straight and simple. You can choose as a servant leader. Now, what do you want to tell the servant leader? In servant leader, the key factor is practice of leading through service to the team. The key point, what I want you to understand is service to the team. See, this question is a very simple, straight question, but the message is, I want the team to get the idea that you have to serve the team. Shriram, you keep telling serve. What do you mean by that? If you ask me, understanding is a big service. If you go 20 years back, this was not there. It's only an instruction, do what I say. That's it. Do what I say. That's what happens. Nothing beyond that. And addressing the needs, hearing them, what do you want? What do you want? You are working with the knowledge workers. If you go to Agile principle number 5, right? You create the project around motivated individuals. The statement says that motivated individuals, and trust them. Give them the environment, what they have to do, and they will complete the work. If you see the 12 principles of Agile, principle number 5 talks about motivated individuals. So you're not going to choose app-assault people. You're going to choose knowledge workers. You're going to choose a motivated individuals who like the work, what they do. Now, what do you have to do? Just you have to understand, address them. That's it. You can't push them. You cannot push them. They know what to do. If there is a coach for Ronaldo, if there is a coach for Sachin Tendulkar, if there is a coach for MS Dhoni, I'm talking about the coach when they are the captains of the cricket team or team member, just they have to tell them, hey, can you think on this angle? There you stop. You don't need to force them. They know what to do. They are the knowledge workers. They know what to do. It's a little tough, but go ahead and read the book of Peter Drucker. Whether you like it or not, in next 20 years, the whole world will have more of knowledge workers, less of physical and heavy workers, because most of things taken care of a machine, right? Percentage goes down, doesn't mean zero, percentage will go down, right? That's up. But you and me, day in, day out, going to work 90% of our time with the knowledge workers. If you still treat them like the old way 40, 50, 100 years back, then you cannot get the work done. You will have a great amount of clash happening. I believe you are working with some of the millennials, millennials, age 20, 21, 25, 28. This set of people, if you try to command and control with them, work does not happen. Rather, we move in a friendly way, give a lot of freedom for them, tell them, hey, you can. They bring a lot of creativity. I know there are some attitude clashes there. Let's not go to the topic that will cover another area, talking about the conflict management. I'll bring up the topic. But for now, understand that you help the team to move forward. Rest all they do automatically, right? That's a part. Fantastic. Great job. Good. So we are at the top of the time. So what we learned today is a small portion of Agile team. Of course, we didn't go too deep inside, but we tried to cover up. Agile teams is all about knowledge workers. I touched with some 3 roles like product owner, Scrum Master, the servant leader, and you also have development team. The team, I say, put a proportion who can do the vertical slice, be careful, vertical slice. They have a capacity of all the team members, like a Jumanji team. They have everybody inside the team who can do a great job, right? And also we learned that something like this team are capable of doing the job on their own. Only thing you have to give a little coaching, and the product owner will be the representative of the customer. There it stops. Super. Hope it was useful for you. Hope you got some knowledge. Great. Good. Let me listen to some couple of your questions. If anybody have, I can help out. Let me see any questions. Hope the Friday is going good. I saw some more people join later. Hey, thanks all for joining. Thanks for being here on Friday. I believe you're going to use the Saturday, Sunday very effectively. Every time when the Friday comes in, we'll think that before Sunday night, I will complete this. And when you blink and open, it will be Monday morning, 7 o'clock. Oof. If anybody like that, I'll give a small tip what to do. If you plan something to do for Saturday and Sunday, take a paper, write down a couple of points. What do you want to do for Saturday? What do you want to do for Sunday? And end of Saturday, put a tick mark. This all has been completed. And again, Sunday, put tick marks. Shriram, this is all a school level thing. Yeah, it's a school level knowledge, but your human brain works like this. When you have a list of topics, and if you put a tick marks against that, it gives a sense of accomplishment, and also your brain remembers it well. Give a try, it may work. Good. Any thoughts on the examination? Anybody have any questions to help out? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Great. Okay, that's pretty good. One thing, recently I was talking to one of the person who cleared PMP, and she was giving a tip that in exam, don't push yourself that complete all 180 questions in one shot. Rather, think your mindset like 60 questions as a first shot. In fact, I was talking to her before the exam. Don't think 180, think first focus is 60 questions. Okay, 160 is done. Take a break, refresh. Okay, next I have only 60 questions. 160 is done, then think another 60 questions. It looked very simple, but it is pretty hard to think, because when you go to the exam hall, quickly your brain thinks, okay, it's a 4 hours. We have 180 questions to do. That pressure mounts. rather 60 questions at a time. And she was giving a little more interesting tip, telling that she kept herself every 15 minutes, how many questions I complete. Like say 11 or 12 questions I should complete. So keep watching the clock, 15 minutes, 10 or 11 completed. In 30 minutes, 20 questions completed. Something like that, keep on watching, she did it. But sometimes it works well, sometimes it also adds pressure, but it worked for all well. So she was able to manage the time effectively. In PMP exam, only thing I found is time management is pretty crucial. How to learn that? When you practice your small level of questions, let's say 10 questions, 20 questions, have a timer in front of you. Without timer, don't practice the question, because the day one when you start using the timer methodology, your brain knows within this time, these many questions I have to complete. So that level of precision will get, right? That's important. Great. It's good to meet you all on this Friday. Of course, we had a very lightweight topic talking about the team. Next week, we have something about project management related subject. So catch up on the next Friday session and bring up more questions, more thoughts. We will talk about it. Thanks all viewers for watching this program. Leave your comments. If you have any specific thoughts, questions, we'll try to help you. Good wishes. Keep rocking.